This is the Cookshack IQ5 control system used on all of Cookshack's commercial smoker ovens. The IQ5 controller has 3 stages of cooking, and we'll go through each one of those today. It also allows you to cook with a meat probe or to cook by time. We start by turning the system on. It takes about 10 seconds for it to power up. While it's powering up, we'll note here is where our meat probe plugs in, and we'll go ahead and plug that in right now. And then we run the meat probe around and through the vent hole. That can then get plugged into your meat. Once we're up and running, we now can either set our mode to probe, which we're in the timer mode. Push the up arrow, we go to probe mode. We'll set the timer mode first. We go to the smoke temperature next. This is the first stage of cooking in those 3 stages that we have. So we have a smoke time set at 4 hours. We can adjust that up or down. Remember, anytime that you change something, you have to push OK to exit that mode. We now set our temperature that we want to smoke at. Once again, we can adjust that up or down. Hit OK, and we're out of that mode. Once it now smokes for 4 hours, it's going to go to the cook temperature. And we're going to have, right now, we have the cook time set at 10 hours. We can adjust that, once again, with the up or down arrow. If you hold it, and it'll go to fast scroll, and it'll allow you to change the time faster. Once we get our time set, we hit OK. Now it asks us what temperature we want to cook at. We can adjust that once again by pushing the up or down arrows. We'll set it at 250 degrees and OK. So now once we cook for the 6.5 hours that we have it set for at 250, it will drop into the hold mode, which is set at 140. We can adjust that up or down also with the up and down arrows, and then hit OK. Once we have that set, then to cook, we simply push the start stop button. It tells us that the door is open. Once we close the door, it will tell us how much smoke time we have remaining, tell us that we're in the timer mode, our oven temp is 68, our probe temperature was 69. We can exit that mode then by pushing the start stop button again until you hear it beep. And now we're out of that and we're back into the programming mode. Now we'll set the probe temperature. So our probe, we want to cook to the probe mode because we have our meat probe plugged in. We're going to hit OK. Now it asks us what temperature we want to cook that meat to. We're cooking beef briskets, so we're going to cook to 192 degree internal temperature. We put that in OK. And now you will see that one major change is nothing to the smoke time. It continues to say exactly what it said. But when we go to cook, it no longer has a time because we're going to cook till our probe temperature reaches 192. We're going to leave the oven temp set at 250, hit OK. When our probe then gets to 192, it will drop into the hold mode. Once again, we push our start stop button, and now we're in the probe mode. Our oven probe's at 68, tells us how much smoke time we have remaining. We press and hold that again and we exit the cook mode. And now we're back into our programming mode. The IQ5 controller also has 8 preset buttons. Each of those is factory set to a specific program. However, you can change those simply by pushing the button and holding it. It will then say saved, and now that program is set for the one that we just set up. And we can then go in and change those anytime we want. You can have those set as you like for them to be, and you can simply say to your employees, load the unit up with 200 pounds of beef brisket, press program 1, and start. And now we're cooking in program 1. It tells us our oven temp again, our probe temperature, and how much time we have. We'll exit that. Another feature that the IQ5 controller gives you is that we store the data of what you're cooking. So both the oven temperature and our meat probe, we record that. Once you've finished a cook cycle, if you want to download that, you simply put a USB thumb drive into the holder, push your USB data button, and it will download it. Of course, this time it's telling us that we don't have a USB connected. We hit OK, and we can continue on. So this is the basics of the IQ5 controller. And like I said, it's on all Cookshack commercial smokers.